Welcome to this week's episode of STS. We are back in the office because, wouldn't you know, I bought a new microphone and the old one no longer works. So we're going to get through this thing, we're going to finish it, and first off, you asked me to watch a video.
Did I?
This week you did. You asked me to watch a video. I mean, I was going to watch it anyways.
Oh, okay.
You asked me to watch it.
I know which one you're talking about.
Something Beautiful.
Yeah.
Who's the video actually by?
Milo.
Okay.
Milo Money. We'll just go with that.
And then featuring Daniel Arroyo. I watched it once. I was gonna watch it again.
Yeah, I felt like I should have watched it again, but I only watched it once.
However, the reason I wanted to watch it again is it's actually a tough video to follow.
Mm-hmm.
I found, but I wanted to get your take on the video first before we get in that. So, overall impression.
I really like the story that it tells. I think it's really interesting to take a glimpse into Daniel's personal life, because honestly, that's the first time I've actually heard this story, and I've known Daniel for 7 years now, roughly. Mm-hmm. Probably eight, almost 9 years. So I've known him for a long time, and it was really interesting to hear that story come out because it was a very honest telling of it. It didn't seem contrived in any way. It was just he was just sharing his story, right? And that was filmed back in 2013, right? So that was my impression of it. I mean, I'm not a filmmaker, but I thought the filming, he did a pretty good job with it. I'm sure there was some kind of audio problem.
That's what it seemed like, and I actually want to read the description, and I meant to before we started talking.
Because there was the way he used Daniel's audio at certain parts, it sounded like, at first I thought it was intentional because it was making it sound more dramatic in some way, and it was almost like a tape recording sound. But what it ended up being was he was actually talking to a camera, and it was I guess it was just they didn't have a microphone, so they were just using the camera's audio, and then he had to do a bunch of posts to try to.
It seemed like it was the same shot though. I don't want to dig into that too much. There might actually be an explanation on the video that we can check after. So I watched it yesterday, and I found it difficult to follow. I was watching it with my girlfriend Gloria, and I just turned to her halfway through, and I'm like, "Are you following? Are you following this?" And part of it, I guess, is because I don't know Daniel that well, and it's I was just watching it and wow, this is a really dramatic, really serious, serious story, which is cool to have stuff like that come out in parkour, for people to actually tell a story that's real. It doesn't always have to be a sad story,
right? Yeah.
But to know that people have stories and that parkour helped them overcome things. But I just had trouble following it, and I think that was in part because he had to read a lot. And I think
subtitles and stuff.
I think maybe just from filmmaking standpoint, they could have shortened the amount of text and things, but I don't want to criticize the video making too much on what isn't really intended necessarily to be a video or documentary project, as so much as just something to tell a story.
I found it really interesting that it's come out now. This is 3 years later. It was filmed in 2013 apparently.
Oh, okay.
Which it's fitting because Daniel's kind of back to training now, because he kind of took a little bit of a hiatus for a while. So I'm glad that he's back to training, and so now that he's back, it's kind of cool that we get to see this piece that it clearly affected his personal life and his training as well. And he talks about that video determination that he made that was for his dad. And that was, I remember that video coming out, and I remember being blown away by it at the time, and that was I can't even remember what year that came out. But yeah, I thought it was a cool story to see. I think, like you said, it's cool to see that kind of stuff coming out in parkour. It's not just videos that lack a story or anything. You know, that's what we typically see in parkour, just videos that are just kind of like, here's some movement, this is our lifestyle, movement, lifestyle, movement, lifestyle. You know, you don't get to see.
It's often fake lifestyle.
It's fake lifestyle.
It's like the highlight moments of this time we were in a hotel room, or this time we opened a champagne bottle, this time we watched fireworks.
But yeah, this is like a legitimate story that you actually, I mean, you can follow it too well. I followed it pretty well because I feel like it kind of had understanding of how the base of the story, but I didn't know all like the details of it, and that's what felt cool to me, was that it was a really just honest explanation of like, this is what happened, and you know, this is how I'm feeling, or how I was feeling at the time. So yeah, I thought it was a good watch. I'd like to see more of that kind of stuff in parkour.
That's kind of like what I wanted to ask you about, is because I think with this one, you're sort of watching it with a bias because you know him, you're a fan, you know, your friend and fan and everything. Yeah. But for someone that doesn't know him, do you think it's a little bit odd to watch something like that?
I think it's hard for me to answer that. It's really hard for me to answer that.
Say like you've never heard of him, you know, because he kind of went off for a bit, and particularly if for people outside North America, I'm not sure if they actually know really who he is anymore. I could be wrong. They should, like, he's an incredible athlete, so they should, if you're into parkour. But
yeah, I think some of the younger generations aren't as aware of him as some, you know, some of the people from our generation. Yeah, no, that's a great point. Is like, you know, somebody who's never heard of Daniel Arroyo and they're watching this video, does it carry as much weight? You know, there's a lot of clips of him doing stuff in it, so I think it does in that sense, because you get to see like the level of athlete he is, and what he's been able to accomplish over the years. But yeah, that's a good point. But I think that's kind of the purpose of it. You kind of get to know the person through the storytelling, even if it's, you know, about a specific event in his life.
Right.
It's, you know.
I think what I found, not necessarily, it's kind of weird to talk about it in this way, because this is like a person's life and everything, but just this type of story of, you know, getting to know an athlete and filming some really personal details of their life. You're almost, with other sports, I'm used to seeing that after watching tons of media of the same person. Yeah. Like, I watched them do basic interviews and stuff, and then they come out with, like, you know, the half an hour documentary where you get to, like, know their whole life or whatever. You
get to dig deeper.
And yeah, it's I don't know. It's a little bit different just seeing that in parkour when all you see is the action and hardly any words from anyone, and then all of a sudden it's their really personal, emotional life story coming out. So it was, yeah, like I said, it was a bit hard for me to follow, and I felt a bit strange watching it. I felt like, yeah, you know, like it's uncomfortable to watch, you know, something real sometimes, where like someone's crying or whatever. So
yeah, I could see that. I think that's what kind of like humanizes it, and I think it just shows that like, you know, people aren't just, you know, people who are practicing aren't just like parkour robots. You know, there's a human element to it.
Yeah.
So.
Is that what people think of us?
Yeah, I mean, like, that's all. That's like all we do is.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you were saying, is most videos, it's the, you know, lifestyle and action.
And it's usually promoting the positive side of everything in life, right?
Yeah. I would be really interested in seeing Didi.
Yeah.
I would be interested in seeing something like that come out about his story.
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
Because he's out there.
Because he does have a very interesting, like, human story.
Have you seen the video where he's building, like, his own park and everything? Yeah. Like, that's so cool.
Oh, and he's had his own park, like, you know, just like taken apart, like vandalized and stuff. You know, and he has to rebuild it again. Right? So it's like, it's an interesting story there. That it's just some documentary filmmaker should go and follow that story, and that could be really interesting. So it's on, this documentary was on Muv Mag, that website. Do you know anything about this?
I I answered some questions before with them, and I don't know if that's ever going to turn into anything. I tried to go onto their website to see more stuff, and you have to pay right away to look at anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe they should let it go for free for a bit before doing something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not my business. So I'm sure they have a reason for whatever, like to monetize their content and stuff.
I see.
This one's coming out for free, so you can watch this for free. You don't have to pay to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I see what they're trying to do with. I mean, it seems like they're trying to be like a parkour journalism kind of business, and they're gonna have like premium content and stuff like that. But I guess they need more free content for anybody to even want to pay for it.
There's no.
I don't know if anybody's paid for it. Maybe there's a list of subscribers, but I have no interest in paying for it because I don't see any value in it yet. Maybe in the future they'll have some content that comes out that's like really interesting, so I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll subscribe to that because I want to see more. But so far they haven't really given me a reason to buy it.
And I mean websites like Urban Free Flow that I don't really feel like I made like a huge knock on them or anything like that, but I wrote a post or article based against one of their post articles, but they're putting all their stuff out for free.
Yeah.
And so I look at both of them and I think, what's the difference here?
Yeah.
Because it's clearly like, okay, yeah, this website's made by parkour practitioners.
Mm-hmm.
This one's made by parkour practitioners. This one's free. This one's not.
Yeah. Unless like the one that's paid is like way more content, number one, and way more interesting content and like something that you see value in. I'm not gonna start paying for it because there's so much free content out there for parkour.
We're cheap. We're parkour people. We don't.
Yeah, but this, the same could be said for a lot of other things like coaching and things that we do see value in.
Yeah.
Which we can move into another topic related to that.
So Dylan Baker now has his own website, parkourdojo.com.
Yeah. And
same kind of idea. It has a bunch of it's basically a bunch of text right now. I'm sure he's working on it. It's not a bad website, but you don't get to use any function really without signing up. Right. I don't think it actually asks for money right away. I think
it's like a mailing list.
Yeah.
Because like every link, so it's like, do you want to do this? And it's like, well, yeah, I want to do that. So then you click on it. It's like, sign up for the mailing list. And it's like another section is like, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I want to do that. So then sign up for the mailing list. So it's it seems like everything kind of directs towards like just sign up for the mailing list, and that's like the start. And maybe through the mailing list. I haven't signed up for a mailing list yet, but maybe through that.
It's tough when you make a website like that.
Yeah.
To access denied, you have to do work.
Yeah.
You got to type in your personal data or whatever. It's and I think we're too used to going to websites where when they ask for that, you're like, am I gonna be downloading a virus, or am I gonna get cheated out of some money here, or is it or am I gonna get spammed? So
I mean those are all factors. Yeah. I think also it's just again kind of going back to the Muv Mag thing is like I want to see free information first. Like give me like the bite-sized pieces and before I'm gonna buy into it. It's like Mobility Wad. Kelly Starrett, he put out so much free content.
365 free videos.
Yeah.
Like daily mobility.
Probably even more than that. Like realistically looking at all of the content that he's put out. For
free.
And
they weren't all like super good quality either.
No.
It was just like clearly he was on a mission to finish all 365 days, and he'd repeat topics and stuff. But that's like his claim to fame is that he put himself out there a ton for free.
Now look what he's done. He's created a pay website where he still releases some free content, but then on top of that he has premium content which costs a subscription.
I was gonna say our guy Ryan Ford too. Demon drills free, Instagram clips free, everything free. All this is exercise examples, and then you want to know a little bit more? Here's a book that I made that's more detailed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I think that's the sort of model you have to follow if you want to charge people, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody's gonna buy into it unless you do have that free information out there. And you know what? There might be some people that are just freeloaders who just want the free stuff, and then like they're not gonna pay. They're not gonna follow through and pay. But it doesn't matter because you still got them as a follower, and they still might help promote your stuff. So
yeah, I think we're entering an interesting time in parkour where people are starting to branch out more. Realize there's things you can have a news website that can potentially be monetized. You can have a coaching website that can potentially be monetized. And people are starting to branch out more. In particular, like guys like Dylan and also Stephane Vigroux recently. I don't know all the details, but apparently he's no longer with Parkour Generations, and he's starting his own thing. He's been pretty active on like Facebook recently, which is cool. I like the stories. I like his posts, his blog posts. I don't always agree with everything he has to say. I think he's really attached to some ideas, but that's how he's selling himself. He's selling himself as a teacher of the original parkour method.
Yeah.
I mean, cool.
I always loved Stephane Vigroux. He there's the Monkey's Back documentary. Like I swear I watched that probably 50 times when I first came across it. It was something that was just like he's talking about all the training with David and all the origins of of parkour. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I love that documentary. I really respected him. And Parkour Generations, he had a big role in that. But yeah, he's branching away from it because he doesn't see they're not following the same vision that he has, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's very interesting. I think that's cool that he's doing that because he's gonna follow where his heart is and not where maybe Dan Edwards and Forrest think that it should go. Yeah.
One very telling thing too is if guys are able to do this, if guys like Stephane Vigroux, Dylan Baker, who were once Dylan still is part of Apex, but you're once part of a bigger organization, and then you're able to branch off and do your own thing. And if you do it successfully, that's a very good sign for parkour. That means that's a clear sign that parkour is growing and that there's just more you can do with it. Interesting time.
So are you gonna sign up for the Parkour Dojo?
No.
Okay.
No, I maybe.
So
I am interested. I actually haven't read his articles on Fear yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've heard things about it, but I haven't read his free content yet. I'm behind on the Dylan Baker content.
I really like his ideas on Fear. When I read the articles, I felt like they could have been written better. I felt like they could have had he could have fleshed his ideas out a little bit better. But I know I understand. I feel like I understand what his ideas are on Fear, and I get it, and I want him to keep pushing that because I think that's a really interesting way to go, and he has some really great insight on that. And I always thought I thought Dylan would be probably one of the few people out there that I would actually be willing to pay money to be coached by.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. So I think he embodies a lot of the things that I'd like to do. So yeah, haven't signed up yet. I'm behind on the content, but yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe when I'm not in a great position right now to be trained by anyone.
That's true.
To receive coaching. Back to Stephane though. So one thing I want to talk about is that he's recently he's actually been making a lot of posts that get tons of attention on Facebook and everything. He did one on meeting Williams Bell for the first time, and how there was basically a turf war between David Bell and those some of the Yamakasi guys,
Yeah.
and he had been told to hate this person, and then wound up saying like, wow, this guy's a great guy, and now he's like one of the best people I know in the world. So that was a really cool story. There's another one he just put out, I think, on, or I can't remember the order, but there's one he did on Silence of Movement. But yeah, have you looked at these or?
Nope.
Not really. Okay.
I don't think I might actually have him on my Facebook.
Okay.
I feel like whenever I do see a post by him, it's because it just kind of pops up in my newsfeed. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should follow him.
Yeah, I think he's actually doing a good job of just the length of his content. They're actually quite short posts. They're not. He's not putting out books or anything to read that gives you lists and lists of things to go through. They're just basically short stories like that are on subjects. So he's kind of trying to make a point, but giving like, here's a story of my experience to back this point. It's a bit refreshing because I think a lot of the direction at least North Americans are going with parkour is I did research. I did research, and that's why I have this point or whatever. And then you kind of go look at the research sources sometimes, and it's not super related to what they're talking about, or doesn't really act as evidence, but they're trying to put it out there as, I don't know, people just love to use the word research. They just love to use the word research. Like, my years of experience plus research equals this, and it's like, oh, I put a word research in there, so like it makes my argument strong. And no, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I think there's value to research.
If it's real research, though.
I have to defend research.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so that. Yeah, I mean, I think there is value to research, but it just it depends on what you're looking into and how specific it is and how relevant it is to what you're discussing. But yeah, but your argument is that Stephane is not saying he used research, he uses his experience.
Nope, he's just saying. Here's how I was taught. This was my experience, and yeah, it's not like he's trying to prove anything scientific. He's just telling stories about training and the method and the philosophy, and yeah, it's refreshing because it's just like his honest experience of life, and here's a point I'd like to make about it.
That's cool.
Yeah, he did one about likes on, or just basically, I think it was hashtag no fear.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
You saw that one? Okay. And that was like more of a rant, but still, I agree what he was trying to say, although I don't think it's really a problem with parkour so much as
society.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Instagram exists and there's more than just parkour people on Instagram is, it's a reflection of that idea. Of course, like people want other people to see what they're doing and to acknowledge it and reward it. And that comes in the form of double tapping for a like, or pressing the heart or whatever it is, or leaving a comment. And I think that's what he's critical of. It's like, oh, like you're just moving for the like, or you're just moving for the, for the gratification from somebody, that you receive online, or how many you get.
Yeah. The funny thing to me is he says stuff like. The hardest things I've done, or the most scary things I've done, weren't recorded. And I could say the same thing too, but then I got a really sweet iPhone that I
right in my
take
pocket,
with me everywhere,
and it's got slow-mo video.
When I'm about to do stuff, sometimes it's like, hey.
I don't know. I get the idea of like, you should just do it. So like I was training with Sid recently, and we were working on this really long line, and I finally got it. I got every piece of it, and it was a pretty difficult line to do, and it was probably the best feeling I've gotten from doing parkour in a really long time. I think because of the length of it and because of the difficulty of linking it all together. And then like after I did it, I kind of had this battle in my head about like, should I try to do it again and film it? Because of this whole Instagram culture, and I came to the realization, it's like, nope, I'm not gonna do it, because, well, one, it's gonna probably take a number of tries to do it. 2, it's gonna be impossible to film it all well because it's a really long line. And 3, like, it doesn't matter. I just, like, I did the moment and I experienced the moment, and that's more important, right? But then I saw another challenge I wanted to do, and it was shorter, and I was like, oh, I really want to try this challenge. And then so I was trying, and then I was like, okay, like, just start filming it for me. So I had Sid or Kieran start filming my attempts, and then of course like, I'm tired at the end of the session, like, it's a really hard thing that I'm trying, and I'm doing it for the wrong reasons, maybe even because it wasn't that important to me to get it. It was important because it was hard, right? It was hard, so I felt like I should keep trying it, but it wasn't that important to me personally to actually achieve it. Anyway, I ended up getting injured. Smashed my knee into the box on on a Kong, and so it's like that was kind of a lesson. And it made me kind of like take a step back. You know what the first thing that went through my head when I hit my knee was, I deserve that. And I felt like that's kind of it kind of reminded me of the whole Stephane Vigroux argument. Because I was kind of getting, trying to just get the video just to have it. You have to be careful with that kind of stuff, right?
Well, I always see Instagram as kind of like a blog. You can treat it like a blog.
I still got a post out of it though.
There you go.
I got to post my injury happen.
Everybody loves a bail. But yeah, Instagram is basically kind of a blog. Or it could be treated as such, but it's so much more accessible than having to make a website blog, which was the previous medium. Is you had to know how to use HTML or whatever to set it up, and so there weren't a whole lot of people in the world have a blog or have a Facebook, right? But now it's like everyone has a Facebook account where they just want to share everything. Everyone has an Instagram account where they just want to share everything, and you just kind of get tired of hearing about everyone. But from athlete or coaching or business owner standpoint, you kind of need that because that's you get your following from making frequent posts. And
I mean, like, I feel like because of my profession, it's important for me to be to promote myself. And you know what? Stephane Vigroux is doing the same exact thing by writing those little posts, right? He's trying to get people to like and comment on his posts and share it so that other people can see his content and value his ideas and his content so that he can, continue growing his presence in the parkour world. So, as much as I get what he's saying, everybody's gotta hustle, right? Everybody's gotta get by. So, I mean, like, that's why I use Instagram. I use it to promote myself. I don't see that as a bad thing. And I also use it as like a personal accountability thing. It's like, okay, like I got a post, like it encouraged me to work on something hard or work on something that I needed to do or just document something and experience. And I do see that, I do feel like that when you accomplish something that's difficult and then you get to see it and you get to sort of relive that moment, it reinforces this positive feedback loop, which actually makes you better as an athlete. I do see value in that. I think that's really important. Is there some negative effects of like, doing it for the likes and just constantly checking your Instagram just to see if it's, bumped up or you have more followers? Yeah, I don't think that's super healthy.
Well, it's like people who take selfies of themselves all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? And like, here's me today, and a little comment and a little tune that says we're out of time to talk. But I guess we'll just finish with Instagram these days, internet these days. Got the good content, and maybe people should be posting it, and then you got the selfies and oh crap, I gotta do something parkour today. Quick, hold this, cause I said I'm doing parkour 365. Quick, hold this so I can get everyone to see it. Yeah.
Well, we'll see where it goes. We'll see if Instagram even hangs around, for that much longer. I think it's gonna be around for a little while. I find it hard to believe that is gonna go out of style anytime soon. But who knows? Maybe there's going to be more competition somewhere in the social media market, and it'll just totally blow away Instagram, and maybe even Facebook will go away. Google Plus didn't seem to succeed very well with getting into that Facebook market, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, man. We'll see you guys next week, probably at the regular time on Wednesday. And I'm going to try to go back to the store to change the microphone, so maybe improved audio. We'll see.
No, don't make promises.
I'm not. I said maybe.
Yeah.
I said maybe.
Yeah. All right.
All right.